Hello everyone and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am broadcasting to you live from Hungary, Central Europe, capital city of Budapest. I hope everybody's doing great out there, wherever you are in the world today watching this class. Hi Manisha, how are you doing? Manisha, you'll notice you have a little red hero beside your name. That is our little IELTS hero. It's your new loyalty badge. I'm doing great, thank you. Awesome. So today we're going to be looking at an IELTS Task 2 writing essay sample. It's a classic question for our members today. Talk a little bit about strategy. Today is October the 7th, and as usual, our materials are coming from aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. So for academic IELTS, check us out at aehelp.com. For gieltshelp.com, check us out at generalieltshelp.com. Get our apps from your Play and iTunes store. All right, good to see members jumping in right at the beginning. Hi Naveen, hi Rahul, hi Mohammed. How are you? So a couple of announcements to kick off today's IELTS class. First of all, you'll notice, as I was just mentioning to Manisha, that we've uploaded our very own loyalty badges. These are our logos, our IELTS heroes from our, there are mascots, I should say, from our websites, and you have different colors depending on how long you've been a member. So if you've been a member for at least 2 months, like Mohammed and Manisha, you'll see that you have a red hero, all right? Same with Jeffrey. For new members, it'll be a little green guy, and for 1 month members, it'll be a little purple guy. So that's the difference between you, Rahul, and Naveen. And then later on, if you're members for longer, you'll see some other silver, bronze, and gold heroes popping up. All right. Now, the other big one that's maybe a little bit more exciting for members than having these funky little graphics besides your name is we're adding a new perk for our members, and this is important to pay attention here. If you find us on Google+, look for Academic English Help, all one word, okay? Please no spaces because that's a different product of ours, but it's not the right page, so all one word, okay? So in your Google+, look for Academic English Help, and then follow us, okay? Click to follow us, and once you do that, send an email, and then we can actually give you access as a customer through our Google Plus to our private playlists in YouTube. And our private playlists have all of these live class recordings as well as other full videos, no advertising on them. So now if you're a member, you can actually access all of the videos that you don't see in the public lists anymore. So lots of good materials there for you. So please do that. Okay, it's a new perk for you. Okay, just make sure to send me an email so I know that you are a member. Okay, Rahul, yes, I saw that. So I'll hook you up with some goodies later today. Okay, all right. So let's get into this. Members, you know, you can always contact me by email, adrian@aehelp.com. And here, let's have a look at our schedule. So this is a members chat only. It's a Task 2 requested class. No class tomorrow or on Tuesday. Listening strategy on the 10th with an example. That's for everybody watching, okay? So all the viewers, we are going to be doing listening on the 10th, reading strategy with example on the 11th, a speaking part 3 for the 12th, and then we'll do another members chat requested class on the 13th. 14th, there's no class. We're doing video shoots for some HD lessons on that day. No class on Mondays, Tuesdays, and then back on the 17th to the 20th with some more classes, okay? So that's your schedule. Look forward to that. Jeffrey, I'm liking the flower bouquet. Thanks for sending that out there. We will probably be adding some unique, one-of-a-kind emoticons to our channel as well, so you can look forward to that. All right, now enough of the fun and the admin. Let's get to the lesson for today. So here's a writing task 2. Again, it's a classic question. It's a good one to really focus on and target. Here's the question. Write about the following topic. Some people believe it is good for students to take time off after high school for work or travel. Others, however, believe it is a bad idea to take a break between high school and university studies. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Give reasons for your answers and include relevant examples. So, members, what do you need to do? Naveen, you don't have to install the Google Plus app on your phone. You can do it from your computer. You just need to have a Google Plus active account and then follow academic English help in that account so we can give you access to the private list. So Rahul says, let's paraphrase that question. Okay, sure. So let's do that. So go ahead and paraphrase this question. Again, use synonyms, antonym negatives, descriptions, expressions. So paraphrase it as much as you can. Remember that you want to paraphrase this and at least paraphrase this one in your mind so that you focus on this aspect of discussing both views. So take a minute, paraphrase this question. I'll do the same. Let's see if you and I match, okay? So let's do that now. Again, paraphrasing is very important. Gathers vocabulary, gets you focused on the right question. That's the main importance. You make sure that you truly understand the question. So let's do certain individuals support the idea that pupils, is another way to say students, should take should spend time after grade 12 on traveling, trips, and jobs. Okay, so instead of work and travel, on trips, not tips, trips and jobs. Others, however, think this is not a good plan. It is better to go directly into university. Okay, discuss both these ideas. So I'll do a quick paraphrase on that. All right, so that's my paraphrase of the statement. This way I know that I understand the question. Also, I start to think of some good vocabulary, even some quantitative information, grade 12, instead of just high school, trips, jobs, paraphrasing schools and work, individuals instead of people. Okay, so some good synonyms there. So I'm paraphrasing that. Okay, now I'm visualizing that. What are we talking about here? So what is the topic? So let's identify that. Now, members, I know you follow these classes, so I'm going to go a little bit faster. This is going to be, let's say, a master's class with a little bit higher speed, a little bit more intense vocabulary. If you get lost or if you're not able to keep up, let me know, okay? I can slow down. If it's too fast, just let me know, all right? So here, what's the topic? What are we talking about? Taking a break? Not quite, Mohammed. I don't think that's the topic. What are we talking about? What's the topic? It's not quite taking a break, Mohammed, but it could be argued. I would say the topic here is plans after high school. Okay, so I think the most clear topic is the plans after high school for students, of course. Okay, so I think that would be the most direct identification of that topic. Plans after high school for high school graduates, okay? So students who finished high school. Okay, Rahul says many individuals think that it is positive aspect for pupils to take halts. Halts is a bit awkward there, Rahul, to take time after schooling for work opportunities and traveling, whereas some think it is not good for them and they should immediately continue their studies. Pretty close, Rahul. Notice my corrections. Manisha says certain individuals think that leaving studies after secondary education is positive for pupils for employment and traveling purposes, while others assert that this gap can distract them from studies. Okay, you're going into a little bit of argument there, Manisha, already, or opinion, but I think that's okay, all right? I don't think the question quite said that it distracts them from studies, but that is the right direction, so you're doing okay. Naveen says certain pupils argue that one should have a break after schooling for refreshment or work. Conversely, others admit that this is not a great decision to have a break. Naveen, that's pretty good. I don't think it's pupils that are arguing necessarily. It's just people, okay? Mohammed says certain individuals think it is a smart move for learners to spare time after secondary education for jobs or commute. Commute's a little bit awkward because that's traveling back and forth from work. For jobs or holidays, maybe. Whereas opponents believe it is not advisable to spend time before continuing with post-secondary education. Very nice paraphrasing, Mohammed. I have to say that you've really paraphrased the question like 100%. So good for you, all right? That's some solid paraphrasing. Very impressive. Okay, topic is plans after high school for high school graduates. And the controlling idea is directly into post-secondary study, which is university or college. All right. Or take some time for a job or travel, right? So that's our controlling idea. So topic is plans after high school. Controlling idea is going into study or taking time off for job or travel. Now you have to talk about both these views. So let's say that directly into post-secondary study is A. And let's say that taking time for job or study is B. Okay, so let's plan this out. So the what is clear. So let's go directly into the why. So why is it good to take time off why is it good? We're going with A here. So why is it good to go right into university or college after high school? So not really taking a break, maybe just a month or so in the summer, and then boom, you're right into your first year of university. Why is that a good idea? Okay. Jeffrey, that's some nice paraphrasing. I like the quantitative information you're adding there. It's good, okay? And I'm very impressed, by the way, to all of our members who are giving these paraphrases and all the other 213 people viewing right now. Notice how each member was able to paraphrase that question very uniquely in their own words. That's your focus. So each one, Jeffrey was different from Mohammed, Mohammed was different from Naveen, Naveen was different from Manisha, but they were all good paraphrasings of that original question, and that's all useful for your essay, okay? So Rahul says to stay focused is one of the advantages. You're already in the mode or the mindset of learning, studying, so you're able to stay focused on your academic career, okay? Rahul, I absolutely agree with you. I think that's definitely one of the positives. So easier to stay focused on studies, not lose study skills, right? Sure. So you're ready to go. Anything else that's a positive? So Jeffrey, I think you're kind of looking for the other B there. We're talking about going directly. So this is A, directly into university. So not taking time off. Okay. Yeah, I saw that you jumped to B there. Naveen says, having practical knowledge about the theoretical. Naveen, you're also jumping to B, I think. All right. So other than staying focused on your studies, are there any other advantages to going directly into university? What else might be an advantage? Arguably. I don't know if, memory's still fresh, brain is trained. I think that's still with point A. Another one might be if you really want to get fancy and you're going for a band 9 and you might want to write a long paragraph, body paragraph, you might think of something like finish university earlier to get a high-paying job sooner. Okay, that's one that could be argued. Okay, let's go to why the other is bad. Okay, why the other is good. So why is B good? Okay, so why is it good for students to take time off for a year? Okay, let's go for the two goods first. So let's look at good and good. All right, so why would it be good to take 6 months, a year off after high school and maybe get work or go traveling before college or before university? So why could that be a good idea? Not going directly into studies. Okay. Jeffrey says memories are no. Okay, not memories still fresh, Jeffrey, but information is still fresh. Sure. I'll add that back to this first one here. It's good visualization. I like it. Okay. Naveen, very good point. We get to explore who we are and genuinely choose what we really want when we go to university. That's a big one. That's very clever, critical thinking, Naveen. I like it. Okay. So explore oneself and truly identify future calling. Okay, future calling means the job that you feel will satisfy you, not just as work, but as something that you enjoy doing in later life. Okay. Jeffrey says traveling can help build language skills, so build language and cultural skills. Yeah, I agree. And one way that we could say that even more is hands-on experience. Okay? Or real-world experience is another way that we could say that. Absolutely, right? That could be very beneficial to have real-world knowledge at that age before going into your post-secondary studies. What else? Let's see what else some of you have said. All right. So building language skills to economically, yeah. Okay, so Rahul says to be financially stronger, helping a hand for parents by doing jobs. Absolutely, Rahul. Or just simply helping the parents by being able to pay school expenses. So earning money for school expenses, especially these days, there are a lot of expenses for students. Even just buying a laptop for university. So earning money for school expenses. So you're not having to pick up loans and so on and so forth. So definitely there's some good benefits there. Now, at this point, so if you're thinking about this as you're planning for your Task 2 essay, you should think of something at this point. So you should be a little bit careful here. What should you realize? By the time you're writing down this kind of a point in your notes and your planning in that 3-4 minutes, you should realize something. What is that? What should you think about, members? So this is, again, it's kind of a master's class, so I'm testing your analytic thinking of not just the question, but your IELTS situation to do a good essay, to write a good essay? What should you start to realize by this point in your planning? You should kind of stop here and go, oh, wait a second, I got to be careful. What should you be careful about? What do you think I'm trying to lead you towards? What idea? There's something definitely that you have to be like, oh, I got to be careful. So Manisha says, well, I got to talk about the negative side as well. Absolutely. So we're going to jump to that, but that's not quite what I'm thinking. So here, why it's bad, right? That's definitely going to be the negative side. I mean, you should for sure think about that, but not just the why it's bad. There's something else. So Naveen says both choices have pros and cons. Absolutely. There's something else, though, that you got to pay attention to. Otherwise, you could get yourself into a little bit of trouble and maybe get a lower score than you can get otherwise. What do you think that is? Let me ask you, let me try to lead you down this road a little bit. Do I want to talk about all of this information, so easier to stay focused, finish university earlier to get a high-paying job sooner, still remember facts better, such as math, biology details, and then here talk about identify who you really are, what you want to do, build your language skills, build your cultural skills, earn money to help with expenses. So should I include all of this information into this 250, 300 word essay? Mohammed says, well, think about the side that we support as well, right? That's good. But the question here is, should I be including all that? And then, of course, as Manisha just outlined, we have to talk about the bad as well. So there's definitely going to be some points for the bad side also. So Manisha, I see that you're saying no. It's probably not a good idea. Rahul says yes. No, Rahul, and I know you're a little bit newer to this, so you don't know this yet. You definitely don't want to do that, okay? Most IELTS students do not have the writing speed and grammar skills necessary to discuss all of this information plus all the negatives in a 300-word essay clearly with explanations and examples. So it's not a good idea, okay? You do not want to include all of this information into your essay. The only way you'd want to do that is if you're going for a band 9, you have very high English skills, maybe you've even completed university in English, and you know that you can write a 400, 450 word task 2 with perfect grammar, okay? But you don't want to do that as a student who's writing 250 to 300 words, okay? Definitely not a good idea. So let's go into the why is it bad. So why is it bad to go into university right away? What's the bad aspect of it? Okay, so what is bad about finishing high school and thank you for the graduation and off I go to university. Woohoo, another 4 years, maybe 7 if I'm doing a master's and a PhD. So why is that bad? Why can that be bad to have to go directly into university? Yeah, Manisha, that's a good structure for sure. We can pursue that structure. Absolutely, that's the structure I was thinking of as well. So the negative would be only theory, no real life experience, too young to know what the student wants, right? So those are some of the bad. Too much study leads to student burning out. So those are some of the negatives. Yeah, Rahul, you're on the same page as me. Good. Why is it bad to go and travel around the world, lose interest in studies, not continue, forget important information. So those could be some of the bads. All right. So now we've thought about the why. We can get into the how with the examples during the essay. So just practice the hows at home, but the whys are the most important to identify during the actual IELTS exam, okay? The whys you should, in point form, write down. Hopefully you can do this much in about 2-3 minutes. And then, what's our next step? That's okay, Shanu. Good to see you in class. So what's our next step? What do we do after we've figured out the why is it good for both sides? Why is it bad for both sides? What do we do? Let's have a look at that question again. Okay, so we have to talk about both of these ideas. What do we do next? Oh, you have to give your own opinion as well. So what do you have to do next? That's right, Rahul. That's right, Naveen. Go for the thesis. Jeffrey, absolutely. Yeah, pick the points for the body, and you do that while you write your thesis. So when you're writing your thesis, you can pick your points for those body paragraphs as well. So write the thesis statement. Okay, and again, during the official IELTS, you could actually do the thesis statement directly on your answer sheet. Okay, so not where you're planning, and just leave some space for the background and the hook. Okay, just practice this at home so you can get the spacing right. Okay, so here, what is my thesis statement? Whoop. So give me your thesis. Give me a thesis statement here. This is where you can really shine. I don't want to give you the thesis. I don't want to hand this one to you because it is what's going to make your essay. So if you have a good thesis, you will write a good essay and you will show me that I can be confident that you've learned these skills well. If you have a bad thesis, it will break your essay, and then you really need to study, and we need to discuss what you need to do, why your thesis is not working. So write down your thesis statement for this question. And I'll bring the camera back into the picture here while you do that. Okay, so think about that thesis. And it is absolutely okay, by the way, viewers and members, to spend a couple minutes on your thesis, okay? Don't rush your thesis statement. You don't have to write your thesis statement very quickly. If you take 2 minutes, which is 120 seconds, to write that 1 or 2 sentence thesis, that is absolutely okay, especially if you're not confident with your thesis. Don't write it directly on your answer sheet. Write it into your notes. You might need to revise it, but spend a minute or two on writing a strong thesis, because when you have a strong thesis, it will make writing the rest of the essay much, much, much easier and faster. Okay, so spend time with your thesis. That's the 1 sentence or 2 sentences where you can absolutely take your time and make sure that you have a solid thesis. All right? Okay, so I'll start writing my thesis because I have a feeling most of you have started, most of the members. So although there are benefits and deficits to going directly into university after high school, I favor the idea of taking some time off for work and travel, as this provides students with financial and intellectual, or let's say real world support. Different ways you could do this, but intellectual or real world skills, tools. Financial is not skills. Okay, so this would be my thesis statement here. Let's see what you came up with. Let me move that down so you see it all on one page. So this would be a thesis where if I read this thesis statement in your task 2, I would be like, okay, this student is definitely going to write a band 8, 9 response. Although there are benefits and deficits to going directly into university after high school, I favor the idea of taking some time off for work and travel, as this provides students with financial and real-world tools. Okay. So let's see what you wrote. Rahul says, I believe that having a gap after studies is a good idea for students to have knowledge about the subjects for studying, and it can be beneficial for their future career. Rahul, that's good. I think it's just half of your thesis. Your other half should be, although there are some advantages to going directly into university, at least that much, you are on the right page. Remember, Rahul, you have to discuss both views here. If you didn't have to discuss both views, if the question, Rahul said, choose one side and give your opinions, then your thesis statement, Rahul, would be complete. Okay? But because the question is asking you to discuss both sides, you have to have that other side clearly in your thesis. It could be a separate sentence. Okay, so if you're like, oh, I want to be careful not to write a really long sentence and make grammar mistakes, then just write it as 2 sentences. You could write it as, there are some benefits and deficits to going directly into school, period. I believe that having a gap after studies is a better idea for students to have knowledge about subjects for studying and for their future career. And then you have a 2-sentence thesis, Rahul. Still very good, still a band 8, band 9, okay? Jeffrey says, despite the negative effects of not going to college directly after high school, I believe taking a gap of a year, or just saying taking a year or a similar plan can not only increase undergraduates' scope, but also provide them with real life experience. I think something like that, Jeffrey. A little bit of correction there, but I do see where you're going, and that's good. Okay? Yes, you're right, Jeffrey. You need to work a little bit more just to clean it up grammatically, have the right word order, but that's why I'm saying you want to spend a couple of minutes on your thesis statement before you begin writing your whole essay. Okay? If you have a good thesis statement, you will get a good mark. Even if you write less than 250 words. So 250 words is the minimum to have task completion. But let's say that you're taking a bit more time to write a strong thesis. You're only able to write 200, 220 words. If your thesis is good and you're able to write a solid, well-structured essay that answers the question directly, you can still get a 7.5. All right? So that's good. Okay, Manisha, Naveen, still waiting for your thesis statements. Meanwhile, we can start our hook. So let's start going into the next part here. Start off the introductory paragraph. Okay, of course, the introductory has these 3 parts: the hook, the background, and the thesis. So there's a couple of very simple, quick hooks that I'm sure you can write for this question. So write a hook for me, please, ladies and gentlemen. There's some really simple hooks that you can throw at me for this one that will get you focused, catch the interest of the reader, and really get you going. For all the other 180 people watching at this very moment in time, the hook is important for your Task 2 essay. Somebody sent me, a couple people actually sent me their essays today I saw them in my email, and they still start with just a very simple paraphrase and then saying, I will discuss these points in my essay. A very weak introduction. It's very difficult, even with good, clean English, to get higher than 7, okay? Remember, the band scores in IELTS are not about being a native speaker or making mistakes. It's about being a good, a very good, or an expert user and communicator with English, okay? So make sure you understand what those band scores actually mean. Rahul says, education plays an important role in one's life. No, Rahul. Yeah, that's okay. I think you can be a little bit more direct, all right? When you're thinking about your hook, consider the identification of the topic, okay? So the topic of the question is plans after high school. So keep it that simple, okay? So plans after high school, obviously it's for high school graduates. When you think about this, plans after high school, think about a hook, then it becomes quite easy to come up with a very strong hook, okay? Manisha, I didn't see your thesis. Can you type it in again, or can you copy paste it back into the chat? Maybe change it a little bit, and then I'll definitely check it, okay? I want to see it, but well, maybe I can scroll back up for it. There's not so many people chatting. I can try it out, okay. You don't have your thesis in the chat, Manisha. I think you forgot to hit enter or something, or you erased it, because I can't see it on my end, and it's not hidden. So just copy paste it back in there again, okay? All right, Mohammed says, in my opinion, I support the notion of taking time off for work and travel, as this provides students with financial and real-world tools. Mohammed, that's good. Just make sure you include the other half of your thesis. So although there are some benefits and deficits, or although going directly into university is good because students retain their knowledge, in my opinion, and then go into that. So you can write it as two sentences, okay? And I see you followed that up afterwards, Mohammed, but make sure you have the same order in your thesis as you do in your essay body paragraph. So if you're going to talk about your opinion last because you want it to be strong, you want it to stay with the reader, then it has to come after the other opinion, okay? Naveen says, though there are a few pros and cons of going directly into college after high school, I opt for taking a break because it enhances practical knowledge and financial capacity. Something like that, Naveen, if you want to add a second point. But practical knowledge is enough. So Naveen, that is a very good thesis, okay? I like it. It talks about both sides. It's very clear where you're going with it. Don't be repetitive, okay? So you don't have to say opting for, I prefer opting. Just say I opt for taking a break after school, okay? As it enhances. You don't need to say good decision as it enhances, because good decision and enhances is the same, so don't be repetitive, okay? All right, Manisha, there's yours, so let's read that. Although having a gap between secondary and university education is perceived as a positive, I personally believe that there's no need for this break, and staying focused on studies is better for future prospects. Very good, Manisha. So you're taking the other side of the argument. So you're saying that, hey, there are benefits to taking a break, but I think it's unnecessary and it's better just to go directly into university. Absolutely arguable in this case. You are, of course, encouraged to take that side if you want. Just make sure that you do a good job, but that's great. Okay, you can go with that, Manisha. Sure. All right, now we're looking for those hooks. Yes, I can see that, Jeffrey, just by the length of it, and Rahul as well. So youth at the age of 18 have two different paths waiting for them. Yeah, Jeffrey, I would be a little bit more careful and add in that graduating high school. So After graduation, 18-year-olds have two paths waiting for them. Period. Nice hook, okay? So after high school graduation, 18-year-olds have two different future paths waiting for them. Yeah, it's good. I like it, okay? It is hard time for most students to opt for the correct field of study. Rahul, yeah, okay, so you're much closer now on the right hook. The decision is difficult, okay? So again, try to be, a good way to think of a strong hook is be empathetic for the subject of the topic. What I mean by that is imagine that you are now, again, a 16, 17, 18-year-old who just finished high school. What is one of the most concerning thoughts for most students in grade 12? I think most of you will agree it's the thought of, what now? What do I do? Okay, so that makes for a great hook, absolutely. Deciding which or what path to choose after high school graduation is one of the most daunting choices a person makes in their life. Okay? If you start off with that kind of a hook, for me, I will definitely be thinking, okay, I'm going to be doing one of these with my pen for this person's band score. So deciding what path to choose after high school graduation is one of the most daunting choices a person makes in their life. All right. Daunting means, it might be new vocabulary for some of you, daunting means it's very stressful and difficult. Okay. Naveen, just at first glance, it's looking a little bit long. The advent of internship experiences in the university is compelling pupils to have a practical knowledge of the subject group they are willing to pursue. Naveen, it's not bad information, but it's too detailed and you're going into too much of an opinion. Your hook should be a little bit more broad, a little bit more worldly, and of course relevant to after high school graduation. Notice how that element is very strong in the hook, okay? So make sure that it's the same for you. All right, then the background. All right, so for the background, of course, you need to define what's going on here. And the definition here is quite easy because it's a part of the question, right? The definition is choice one, go directly into university with very little time off, maybe only a couple months. And then choice two is take more significant time off to work or travel to other countries. So we give a little bit more detail. Why is it important? So the importance, we'll talk about that after we give the definition. So think about the definition and the importance. So some students only have a brief, choose to have, right? Just a brief month, a summer break before continuing with post-secondary study, while other graduates take at least a year to earn money or travel the world. Okay, whatever these students decide can have a significant impact on their future education and lives. Okay, so that would be the background with the definition and the importance. Okay. So again, a lot of visualizing here, members. Members, when I'm doing this, so when I write when we're practicing task 2, and I just kind of go ahead and write in some background with the definition and importance, don't be shy. Do your own, okay? This class is for you, members, mostly. So when you put your comments into the chat, I will definitely look at them, even if you're kind of behind and you're still just focusing on the hook right now. Don't worry about it. I'll jump back there for you, okay? I'll give you feedback on what you're doing right and wrong. So don't be shy about that, all right? Okay, so let's review this introductory paragraph. Deciding what path to choose after high school graduation is one of the most daunting choices a person makes in their life. Some students choose to have just a brief month summer break before continuing with post-secondary study, while other graduates take at least a year to earn money or travel the world. Whatever these students decide can have a significant impact on their future education and lives. Although there are benefits and deficits to going directly into university after high school, I favor the idea of taking some time off for work and travel, as this provides students with financial and real-world tools. Okay, so that will definitely work as a strong introduction for your essay. And it's very clear for your reader what you're talking about, what direction you're taking, and how you are going to structure your writing. Okay. So Jeffrey says, some students already know which universities they are going to attend and which majors they take. Don't use future tense, Jeffrey, so stay away from that evil little word will, okay? Will is a very dangerous preposition, future tense preposition, okay? So try to stay away from that. Conversely, those who have not decided yet, may prefer going on a trip or getting a job, okay? That's good background, Jeffrey. That's good background, good explanation or definition of what you're actually talking about. So here, when you're going into your background, you don't have to overcomplicate. So I gave you a different background than my paraphrase, but often the background is synonymous or is the same as your paraphrase. So remember the paraphrase of the question, that certain individuals support the idea people should spend time. So you kind of take this information, and this is partially your background and your thesis, okay? So use that, all right? Use that. Of course, Jeffrey, that's why I'm here, and that's why we have these members chat classes, so I can really get into the detailed mistakes. So Rahul, Naveen, don't be shy. Get your info in there. Manisha, get it in there, okay? Get your sentences in there. Don't overthink it. You have to be able to not just produce good sentences, but produce them quickly, okay? IELTS is a timed exam, so I'm happy when you write good sentences. Just make sure you can write them fast. Eventually, you will get there when you train yourself. Okay, so according to my thesis, what should I do now? So this is my introductory paragraph. And according to my thesis, so according to what I wrote here, what should I do next? So I should obviously start my body paragraph 1, but what should that talk about? So what should my body paragraph 1 include? And my thesis tells the reader and myself, of course, what I should be doing. So what should my body paragraph 1 be about? Not financial, Rahul. You have to be a little bit careful here, Rahul. Again, remember, This is a both sides essay. Okay, so Manisha says, well, your body one should talk about going directly into university. That's what I'm guessing you're saying, Manisha, is that body one, the benefits and deficits of going into university. Yeah. This is my point one here. Okay, so this is point one, this is body one. Okay, this here is point two, body two. Okay, so this part here is point two. Let me keep the same notation. So that is two, body two, okay? And of course, body two should include these points, financial and real world tools. So I want to include that into body two. Now, if I'm a really good writer, so if I'm very quick and I'm going for a band 9, but again, I don't suggest this for most IELTS students. You might separate this out into two more paragraphs. So you might do body 1 and then body 2 and then body 3. So you could do it like that as well, but I would just do it more simple. Just aim for a band 8, 8.5, maybe even a 9. Do 2 body paragraphs. Do this one as body 1 and do this one as body 2. Okay? So go with your thesis. Yeah, absolutely. First point of your thesis statement. Yeah, it could, if your thesis is mine, yeah, then this way. But if you're doing your thesis, then the same logic applies, right? Okay, so then we write body 1. So body 1 has to be about the pros and cons of going directly into university. Okay. Now, what should this body paragraph include? It should include a topic sentence. It should include explanations, examples, and a connecting sentence. Okay. Now, aside from that, your body 2 should be about taking time off, before university, and include information about financial and real-world tools. And what should you have here? So before you talk about the financial and real-world tools, there's some information that you need to put in here for body paragraph 2. What should you put in here? So your body paragraph 2, you want to emphasize the financial benefits and getting real-world experience benefits. What should you include before that? So this should be the structure that's going to be effective for getting a high band score for this essay. So here I would definitely start with pros first, so the benefits of going directly into school. Then I would finish with the negatives. So first benefits, then negatives. I would give explanations, examples, connect the sentence to my next body paragraph. Then in my next body paragraph, I would focus on taking time off before university, and I would start with, that's right, Manisha, I would start with the negatives and then lead into the positives. So notice nothing is by accident here. When you're writing a good essay, nothing is by accident or by chance. All of your decisions must be purposeful. So positive, negative, negative, positive. The reason I do this is because this is my strong opinion. This is the point that I want to leave the reader with. Okay? It's the point that I want to finish on. So when I'm discussing both sides, positive, negative, negative, positive. Okay? I want to start here with the positive because I want to mention that quickly, then mention the negative because it's the side that I'm least supporting. Then I want to go with the negative here, just something very quick, and then go into much more detail. So this is your strongest part. Okay, this is where you go into the most detail with the positive of real world financial tools and benefits for this. Okay, so less for this positive, more for the negative, less for the negative, more for the positive. Does that make sense? Okay, that was a very important piece of information for this type of essay. Does that make sense, what I just explained there? It is important for me to know that it makes sense for you. Okay, logical sense. So Manisha, Jeffrey, it definitely makes sense for you. You've seen me explain this a bit, so I'm happy that that's clear. Naveen, Rahul, did that make sense? Shanu, if you're still with us. Mohammed, good. It made sense for you as well. Naveen, okay, it made sense for you as well. Good. Because this is how I'm going to make it most clear for my reader that this is the side that I support, and these are the two reasons that I support this side more than this side. Okay, and thank you, Shanu, for answering. Okay, it was clear for you as well. Rahul, was that clear for you? If not, don't feel pressure. You can say not clear quite yet. Explain it more. So it is important for all of my members watching to make sure that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so looking at it this way, this paragraph, so body 1 does not need to be as long as body 2. Body 2 here can be much longer, maybe even twice the length of body paragraph 1, because this is the information that I'm emphasizing. Okay? All right, and then, of course, I have my concluding paragraph. The concluding paragraph reiterates my points, strengthens my argument, and gives a take-home message. So, ladies and gentlemen, members, this is your homework. Finish this essay, okay, with this structure, all right? And then with a good conclusion, send it to my email, and I will take a look at it. I'll give you a band score, and I'll let you know if you nailed the structure and the content accurately. And I'll even try to include a couple of points of feedback for how you can improve, okay? So don't forget the conclusion. Okay, in the conclusion, include the points restated, argument strengthened, and take-home message. I'll get you back on camera here in a second. Okay. So make sure to have all three of those elements clearly. Do not introduce a new argument or a new point into your conclusion. That's very awkward. I saw a student do that today in their essay that they sent me. So make sure not to do that, okay? That's one of the dangers there. All right. So again, conclusion. 3 parts, points restated, just briefly summarized, argument strengthened, your position, definitely it's better to take a year off, and then the take-home message, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, members, thank you so very, very much for this very active members chat class. I appreciate all your comments and all your effort that you put into it. For all of our viewers, it's worth becoming a member to get access to our 6 practice exams, as well as now you can get access to our private video lists where we have a lot of ad-free lessons well organized into structured playlists into the listening, reading, writing, speaking sections. Also, you can request classes, as this class was requested by a student. And of course, to get our premium world-class courses for IELTS Help for academic, join us at aehelp.com and gltshelp.com for general IELTS. Okay, Manisha, Naveen, Shanu, Mohammed, Jeffrey, Rahul. Again, you're awesome. Keep up the good work. I can absolutely see that you're improving, not just in your English, but the way that you're using your thinking, your logic, your critical thinking, your visualization. That will really be beneficial, not just to get you your high IELTS scores, but also to get you further success when you're in university and in work in later life, and potentially even in your relationships and other aspects of life. So keep it up, okay? And I will see all of you next week on Wednesday, where, of course, everybody will be able to join. And I believe we will kick the week off with some listening practice and strategy. Anybody ever has any questions about our products or about IELTS, don't be shy. Send an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Much love to all of you. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, a wonderful start to your next week, and I'll catch you on Wednesday, 15 to 16 o'clock Central European Time. Bye for now. Fist bump back to you, Jeffrey. Bye, Shanu. Keep up the good studies. Bye, Jamin. But sorry you missed the class. Make sure you make it next time.